TRL Footy Show, brought to you by the Criterion Hotel Dalby, Gale Walker Swim School in Highfields, and Power FM on Power TV Australia. This week we are live from the Criterion Hotel in the heart of Die Hard territory. And here's your host from the Obie and Cookie Call on Power FM, Andrew O'Brien, aka Obie.
Yay! Thank you very much. And look at the crowd. Come on, put your hands together. TRL Footy Show here for the first time at the Dalby Criterion. And thank you very much for Ben O'Callaghan and his team. And of course, the Dalby Rugby League Club for having us out here. I'm Andrew O'Brien, I'm Obie in the Obie and Cookie Call, and joining me on the panel is none other than the Obie and Cookie Call teammates. Nev Cherry, how are you, Nev?
Mate, Obie, I'm going brilliantly, especially to be out such a wonderful venue as the Criterion Hotel in Dalby. The best steaks I've ever eaten.
That's right, and also joining me, it's nice to be out in your territory, Kerry Carmichael, the 2017 Premiership winning coach. Put your hands together for him.
Thanks, Obie. Mate, I'm cold. You got a jumper?
You're cold, mate. Can I give you a hug, mate?
I was told to take my jumper off.
That's right. Well, let's get right to the show. But before we go, we also have the President, your illustrious President, Dalby, the one, the only, Tom Kelly.
Thank you, Obie.
Well done, mate. We'll get back to you in a moment, but let's talk about the Mustangs. They lost to the East Tigers, 40 points to 28. They're going okay, the Mustangs, just not getting the chocolates. They're in the mix every week, aren't they, Nev?
Mate, that's right, Obie, and as I've said on previous weeks, as long as they're turning up and competing, and even if they don't go that well in this competition, which we always strive to, is that the players that come out of that system, like the Sean Hemmels, the Connor Nolans, that add to our competition down the track.
Yes, that's right, and they play the Ipswich Jets on Saturday, that is, at Gold Park at 2 p.m. So they beat them last time, and they should have a win again. Now, the Phillies, they both, the Division 1 and 2, had byes this week, and a big scoop is that on Sunday on the Obie and Cookie Call on Power FM special events, we are calling the Toowoomba Valley's Phillies against Ipswich at half past 12. Fantastic stuff, hey, Nev?
Mate, awesome, Obie, and it's great for our game to have these girls involved. And as we've spoken before, same with you, Kerry, just the connections they form across the league circles, it's brilliant for the game.
Yes, and the Division 2 have a bye, but let's talk everything state of origin, and what a disappointment, Kerry. You flew down thinking that you were going to have a game, but, mate, disappointing for you yesterday.
No, it wasn't disappointing. It was obviously the result was disappointing, but a great experience going to the MCG, and myself and my wife went down, and like 87,000 people at the MCG, you can't get much better than that. And also run into Jared Lee and Stephen Lee on the same plane.
Yep.
And you know, they are top fellas, and you hear, you know, all the rugby league players, how rude or whatever, all the negative stuff. They are truly nice fellas, and even my wife commented on the plane and how nice the fellas they were, but they enjoyed themselves. They went to the Bells Beach. They went to Bells Beach yesterday and before the game, and my wife and I went to the buffet lunch and then went out to snooze.
That's fantastic. But as for the game, Kerry, I think the better side won on the night, don't you think?
Oh, definitely. You know, I thought, you know, even 8-0 down, I thought this could have been anything. But to Queensland's credit, they fought back, got in front, in a dubious call, and they can turn games, and that one definitely turned the result the Blues' way. But at the end of the day, the Blues were the better side. They won the game. Let's look forward to the game too.
And the mighty Greg Inglis, didn't he have an absolute blinder? He actually owned that Queensland side. He did some absolutely fantastic tackles, didn't he, Nev?
Mate, he certainly did, Obie. Like, he was looking to lift his side when they needed lifting, and just he needed a few other blokes to go with him. But, mate, they'll all be better off with the experience. I don't think it's dire straits yet for Queensland, but we'll come back.
But the most important thing of the night was the Origin debut of Dalby's own Andrew McCulloch. Put your hands together for Andrew. And over to you, Tommy. What a fantastic moment it is for Dalby, for one of their own to make their debut last night.
Yeah, it's always great to see a bush boy go to Brisbane and especially go all the way through to Queensland. Andrew's been a great sportsman all his life, like even as a young fella, like there wasn't much that he couldn't do, Andrew, whether he was playing cricket or playing tennis or playing football. He was just a natural at everything. He worked hard at it though. He had good parents that helped him along the way, and and it's, like I said, it's great to see him go all the way through. And he's been waiting a while, I think. I guess everyone's sort of been sitting back waiting for Smithy's day to finish up and retire and move on, and everyone's thought, well, Andrew's going to get there. But the last few years, I guess people have been starting to think, well, maybe Andrew won't get there. They might put someone else in there. But it's good to see him there, and I thought he played fairly fair last night. But you were saying that New South Wales debutants, I think they handled the pressure better than what the Queensland fellas did. The new fellas on the block, not that they did anything wrong, but...
And tell me, Tom, were you nervous for Andrew last night?
No, not really. I wasn't out there. He'd be nervous enough for himself, so that it's his mother's and father's job, not mine, so...
And so how many barking orders did you do, Kerry? You're down on MCG. Andrew McCulloch has looked over to you and is giving you the finger, I saw.
No, he didn't, mate. He actually gave that to Beaver, because Beaver sent him a message through the week. Xavier Manley, wishing him well, and he was quite embarrassed by McCulloch. And I actually saw him after the game, and he said, that fella that gave me that message last night, I said, who is he? I said, he's a homeless fella. I said, don't worry about him.
Anyway, put your hands together for Andrew McCulloch. What a fantastic debut all the way from Dalby. So we'll take. I want to talk everything about Dalby, and Tommy, what a magnificent club you've evolved over the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, the Diehart's chipping along in the right direction. We've been sort of building, probably 2014, I guess. Kerry and myself and Clayton Coleman and a few others at the club there sort of got together and having a crack at trying to change things around a little bit, probably working on off-field disciplines, a big thing, and still having fun. I'm a believer if you're winning off the field, you'll win on the field. And it took us a while, it took us 3 or 4 years to get there. Like we're playing a lot of finals, I think, through the years, and eventually the more finals we got into, the fellas got hungrier, so.
Yeah, and how long have you been at the helm now, Tommy?
This is my 5th season.
Okay, what have you learned over those 5 seasons?
Every year is different. Players are different. Yeah, we might have 90% of the same players this year to last year, but their attitude's a little bit different this year. They're a little bit more laid back and probably not as much energy or urgency this year as far as like the monkeys off their back. They won a premiership and
you go from there.
Yeah, no, like I said, we just got to get their minds back on the game, and not that we're out of the race yet. The race is not run till September. We're still in it, so.
Yeah, and Nev, one thing we have seen the last couple of years is that all their grades are very, very strong.
Mate, they're very competitive, and as Tom touched on there before, just...
Are you cold, mate?
I'm freezing. I've seen them, they've worked really hard out here, Tom, and it's a big pat on the back for the job they've done out here. And you watch all those young lower grades, just the respect they showed for the administration, the officials on the field and off the field. It's a real credit to the local community and the club itself.
And Kerry, you've been here, how many years were you coaching, mate?
4 years.
4 years, and it's evolved. Like when you first started, mate, you know, like it was sort of a bit of mixed match. One senior grade would go well, but over the last couple of years, all senior grades have gone well, Kerry.
Yeah, they have, and it takes time.
What's the secret, mate?
Well, it's patience, Obi. It's patience, mate.
You haven't got any patience
no,
whatsoever,
I haven't, but Tom has.
Hey?
I haven't, but Tom has.
Yeah, I would have liked to be in a fly on the wall. All the arguments. Yeah, that's another story.
No, well,
anyway,
but that's what it's about. You know, we have disagreements, but at the end of the day, it's about being patient. It's what the club needs, and sometimes it takes 2 years, sometimes it takes 5 years. And we got there. It took us 4 years, but and we look back at it now, and everything we've done, I think we ticked every box. But now the big thing is we've got to continue it on.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is a lot of people don't realise administrators and coaches all make mistakes like players do on the field.
No.
It depends. Oh no.
Kerry's told me he's never made a mistake. I think it was 2013.
Yeah, you're right.
Kerry will whisper and tell you he hasn't made it. Right, yeah. But if you get him on the side, but no, it is. We all make mistakes, and you've got to live and learn by them and work out what you've done wrong from one season to the next. It's important to sit down and discuss with your staff where you're at.
Well, look, all your grades are in the mix this year. I want to go back a couple of years, Tom and Kerry, and I want to talk to you about imports. We've had a sprinkle of imports that were introduced to the club, and now they're locals, mate. How do you do it?
It's a matter of, we put a lot of groundwork into people that we bring to our club. Like, there's no point bringing someone here if they're not going to be part of the community or want to be part of the community. Like, I don't have an issue with them living out of town and coming here. week in and week out, but eventually you'd like them to move in and enjoy the town. But you've got to get the right people that, like you can identify someone that can play football on the field, but it's more important to know what they're like off the field. Because the last thing is you want is to be seeing one of your star players in the paper every week after the local magistrates been doing something. So it's important, like I just said, it's off-field discipline. You've got to make sure that's right. And if you get that right and they're respected in the community, it just makes life easier for everyone from the top right through to the bottom.
And Kerry, I was going to say, you know, like prior to the imports coming, you were a bit out there, one senior grade to go well, but you only really had about 3, maybe 4 imports that came, but the whole club galvanised at the time, and you all started to really make finals, didn't you?
Yeah, it did. But it took a lot of work, you know.
But it wasn't by coincidence, mate?
No, it wasn't, mate, because at the end of the day, like, it upset a few people, you know, getting blokes in from out of town, but it's what the club needed, and, you know, you look back at it now, Obi, and like Tom said, we had people approaching us to come here. But when you look at them and you make a few phone calls, or you know, and they're a bit iffy, well, we don't want them at the club. We want good people. We want people that are on the same track of what we're on, and that's what we got. We got, you know, obviously Steve Franciscus and Corey Blaze and Jason Woodrop. Not only are they good football players, but they're heading in the same direction we were heading, and they also good blokes off the field, and they were good for our juniors. And if you don't want to be part of that, well, basically, if you find players that want to go around and find a bit of money here and there just for the sake of it. Well, we weren't interested in that, and we found some really good blokes and them fellas, and we've kept them, and obviously Steve Franciscus now and his family have moved out here, and that's what we're after, you know.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And Nev, look, just by coincidence that Dalby as a club, when they come to game day, they're in the mix for all those 4 senior sides.
Mate, they certainly are, Obi, and as you just touched on there before, it's their conduct off the field, like they're there to watch each other play. I hear the stories about the seniors going to the junior games, supporting the town, the local players, and all that'll come back to reward them in the future. And just, they're a great club, they're great people out here, and like I said, they've attracted the right people. Like Steve Franciscus, like, not only is he a great footballer on the field, he's a 10 times better bloke off it.
That's right, and we'll hear from Steve, and we're going from now your sponsors, Tom. Who's your major sponsor here for the Dalby Diehards?
We're blessed. We've got a lot of great sponsors that have stuck with us for a lot of years. Dalby Leagues Club, of course, is probably our number 1 major sponsor. As well as with our on-field stuff and off-field stuff, with their clothing and different stuff, and the maintaining of their football field, which we think is probably one of the best in the Toowoomba competition. Probably Gatton will be the only second one that had come close to us, that spend a fair bit of money on their fields. Wild Rivers Concrete and their A-grade major sponsors. Australian Fusion Welding, their major sponsors of reserve grade. C-grade, we have Firma Plumbing, which is a great family that's been around Dalby all the way through, juniors all the way through, from a couple of generations of families there, part of our club. And also Dalby McDonald's, a part of our 18s. And then we have our sleeve sponsors and back of jersey sponsors, so there's a swag of them there. And like, each time we go up for renewal every 3 years or so, they all put their hands up to go again. So it's been great. So.
Well, absolutely fantastic. And speaking of sponsors, thanks for the Criterion here for putting us up. They are Toowoomba Rugby League sponsors as well. But certainly for Dalby Leagues Club, your major sponsor. We'll be back later on the year at the Dalby Leagues Club. But thank you very much for coming on, Tommy. You've got a wonderful club here and you gave us a bit of an overview. Robbo, let's go to the break.
Certainly, Obi. After the break, we'll look at last weekend's round 10 games of the TRL Footy Show, brought to you by the Criterion Hotel Dalby, Gail Walker Swim School, Power FM, and we're live and free on Power TV Australia. Joining us for the TRL Footy Show, live from the Criterion Hotel in Dalby. And now it's back to Obi.
Well, welcome back to the TRL Footy Show. Can I hear anyone out there? Hang on. Can I hear anyone out there? Yeah, that was about as loud as the last one. But we're all having a great time here at the Criterion Hotel. Thanks very much to Ben O'Callaghan and his team. Now let's look at round 10 and what happened out there. But first of all, let's welcome assistant coach for Dalby, Craig Firma. How are you, Craig?
Yeah, well, Obie, how are you?
Yeah, really good, mate. We'll get back to you in a moment. But Warwick, they played probably a controversial game against Oakey. It was 54 points to 20. The penalties were 15-3 at half-time, ouch, and then at full-time 25-5. But look, the score did not indicate the game. It was a wonderful game. Oakey have had some really tough gigs the last 3 or 4, and they're going to really go to the end of the season by really putting it to a lot of sides here, don't you think, Neville?
Mate, most certainly, Obie. And as I've touched on before, physically, they're one of the most physical sides in the competition, but it's just that discipline that lets them down, and they've got to stay in games for 80 minutes, not 5-minute periods. Yeah,
and Craig, you've played Oakey, and the score that you beat them by didn't indicate the game, did it?
No, not at all. I mean, you know, we sort of got away to a pretty good start in that first half, and probably went into the sheds thinking, well, the boys were definitely thinking it's probably going to be the same in the second half, but Oakey definitely lifted in the second half, and we had to work hard to finish that game.
Yeah, well, let's not take anything away from Warwick. They were very, very good. Fui Mono and Mick Bloomfield, they were both in the centres together. They were very, very good. Darren Pettiford got our player of the match for the Toowoomba Sports Club. And in reserve grade, Warwick 32 defeated Oakey 24. In under 18, Warwick 50, Oakey 18. In second division, Warwick 48-4 over Oakey. And then Waddles and South 70 points to 14, celebrating Scott Kuhneman's life. What a great celebration it was over there. In reserve grade, 68-12, Waddles over South. Under 18, South 84, Ulch over Waddles 12. In second division, Stanthorpe, I think they're in second or third position, got a chance at Matson Rasmussen, 18-10 over the South. And then over to Gilbert's Oval, Gatton 40 defeated Gundawindi 24. It was 24 all with 15 minutes to go, Nev. So, but Gatton just showed their skill, I suppose.
Mate, I think you're right there, Obie. Like, Gatton is building very nicely. I sort of wrote them off about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I thought they're gone, but poor old Gundy, they're the unluckiest side in the competition. I was talking to Gus McKellar, any side that goes out there, they're getting pumped by Gundy, but they just can't get that win. They just got to keep working hard. Now,
Kerry, you saw Gundawindi and Dalby. That scoreline's not surprising for you? For Gatton to beat them by 40 points to 24. Yeah, Gundawindi, a real competitive side.
It is surprising because I thought Gundawindi might have caused. I think I tipped Gatton, but I thought Gundawindi might have caused an upset there. And, you know, Gundawindi going on all right. I mean, you know, we look back at probably 8 or 9 months ago where Dalby beat Gundawindi by 110 points. Yep. And you know, and Scotty Shilks out there has done a fantastic job, recruited really, really well, and they're slowly climbing the ladder. Yep. And you know, and he's obviously got a plan in place, and I reckon over the next 2 or 3 years, Gundawindi could be really powerhouse.
And unusually, Craig, you don't see many of these things, but those two sides, Gatton 40, Gundawindi 24, you played them the previous 2 weeks, didn't you? So, what's that scoreline read to you?
Yeah, look, Gatton doesn't surprise me.
Because you were pretty terrible against Gatton, weren't you?
Look, in the time I've been with the club, that's the worst performance I've seen from our team. Honestly, I mean,
yeah, it was.
We weren't anywhere near where we needed to be in any aspect of the game. So, I mean, I didn't even bother watching the video that week. It was that poor. So
yeah, it was your completion rate that game. I think you only got 1 set of 6 in the second half. Yeah,
we did complete one.
One, I thought you did as well. But look, but you're sort of growing there. But we'll talk about that later on. Reserve grade, Gatton 34-16. Beating Gundawindi under 18s, Gatton 44-18 over Gundawindi. And then Highfields 40 defeated Brothers 10. My spies tell me, Nev, that it was Brothers were competitive right up for about 60 minutes of this match.
Mate, most certainly, and as we've seen since the start of the year, Obie, they're building nicely since John Dixon's come on board. He's doing a really good job there. They're looking to compete every week. With the Highfields side, they'd be happy with that win. I've watched them play about 8 games, and each week they're getting better and better, and I think Gus has got a bit of a plan in motion there.
Yeah, and reserve grade, Highfields 36, defeated Brothers 16, and then under 18, courtesy of the Chinchilla Bulldog boys, going to Brothers, they drew with Highfields, who are in under 18s in the top 3. So Brothers are in the bottom 2, Kerry.
What's that about Chinchilla?
Well, Chinchilla, they've got 4 or 5. You've got to be up with it more, Kerry. They've got 4 or 5 guys come from Chinchilla Bulldogs, and they've dual signed with them because apparently the Chinchilla Bulldogs only play 5 games a year.
Good idea. Great idea, yeah.
They beat Valleys in the under 18s. That was their first win, and they drew with Highfield, so they're going really well.
And then our match of the round, Valleys 48 defeated Dalby 28. Look, I've got to say, Craig, is that your defence was pretty good the first 15, 20 minutes, and it looked like the Dalby of old, but look, probably between the 20 and the 60 minutes, they scored the bulk of their 50 points. So, again, pretty disappointing.
Yeah, they obviously, you look at that score there, and and we've been beaten by 20 points, and Valleys were the better team on the day, absolutely. But this year's been a very different year for the Dalby first grade in comparison to last year, and there's been some problems. We aren't winning games as cleanly and as big as we were last year. And Valleys, Valleys are a really good footy team, and they got a really good half, and they really exposed us on our edges. I thought where we were way better last week, and which is probably a positive out of the game, is that we've been leaking a lot of points inside our 10. So our goal line defence last week was outstanding. It was really good. All of Valley's tries were coming from 40 to 50 to 60 metres out. They were long distance tries. Again, exposing some problems we've had down our edge, particularly down our left edge. We've had some problems there this year. But yeah, I mean, there were some good positives there, I thought. Our middle was outstanding on the weekend. Beaver played an outstanding match. So
yeah. I was at the game as well there, and I've seen a different game to you guys. I've watched this for 2 years, and I love the Dalby side. I love the players out here, but there's a couple of guys in there, the expression on their face, Craig, I questioned whether they wanted to be there. And I think you've got a good enough team to win 10 grand finals. But I think individually, some of your players got to go away. They owe it to the community out there. They owe it to the Leagues Club, Tommy, yourself, Kerry. They need to have a good look at whether you're under 9s or A grade. If you haven't got that desire to win, you're playing the wrong game. And I think that's the only thing lacking from your side. Like I watched this last year. Blokes were turning up for each other. You were on the front foot. You were the leader of the competition. This year, I'm watching blokes looking along the line, looking for someone else to do it. And I think once that desire comes back, I think you're a whole different side.
Oh, you're right, Nev. I mean, let's face things. Winning a back-to-back premiership is very hard. I mean, it doesn't happen too often in recent history, other than the Valleys juggernaut that was there, 10 years ago. There hasn't been a back-to-back that I'm aware of.
And Craig, you've got Alex Ambia back this week, Jason Wardrop. So you're starting to get some good ones back.
We didn't have Dylan Mitchell for the best part of the first 8 weeks of the comp after being injured in the trial.
Even Dylan Taylor, mate.
He's only had 3 runs under his belt.
I think this weekend, Nev, we were talking about that before. There's no problem in the club. There's no, and we've said before, the coaching staff's great. They've come through. They know what they're doing, and I think you're right, Nev. I think some of the players need to have a look in the mirror and think, well, hang on, let's not wait for Steve Francis. Let's not wait for Corey Bays to do something. Let's take it upon ourselves. And that's not happening, Nev. And we've spoken about it before and there. And I think you hit the nail on the head, mate. And there's some players out there individually that probably aren't putting their hand up.
They're looking for excuses.
In the tough times. But I think this weekend against Highfields, I think, sometimes when you're playing rugby league and you're lacking confidence, you look for the easy games. I think this weekend against Highfields could be a season turner for them.
Well, if we go back to 12 months last year, we come out and did the game out here.
It was the game of the season.
I would even say it's a game of 20 years. I was that impressed.
I reckon there was 2,000 people here. But look, moving right along, and the lower grades still very competitive. Valleys took the chocolates in reserve grade 18-14 against Dalby. They had a chance right at the end there. And similarly with Valleys in under 18s, but Dalby, who are Matson Rasmussen aspirants in under 18, they won 20 points to 14 over Valleys. And of course, second division, 20 points to 12. You see, so look, Craig, we're going to have Steve Franciscus after you. Look, and I think you're doing a tremendous job out here with your senior group, with Kerry and Derek, and all the best, mate, for the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
I think we'll go to a break. Robbo.
Coming up next, we'll take a look at the current points table and preview round 11. This is the TRL Footy Show, brought to you by the Criterion Hotel Dalby, Gale Walker Swim School Highfields, and powerfmradio.com.au.
I'll declare the meeting open. Thank you very much for your attendance. Welcome to our staff.
Hi, this is Matt Jagger on
Classic Vinyl.
This is Debbie Harrow from Blondie.
This is Jimmy Barnes here.
Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac.
This is Reverend Willie G from ZZ Top.
The best tracks from the greatest albums of our generation.
That's right.
From your breakfast and coffee to your drive home.
We've got the classic hits that make your workday.
When you got a job to do.
Go by a lot faster.
Hey, if we haven't said it lately, thanks for listening. The home of classic rock.
Don't touch the dial.
PowerFMRadio.com.au.
Whether you're a professional musician, a weekend warrior, or just starting out, you need to talk to the experts at Royce Music. With over 35 years' experience, Royce Toowoomba's oldest music store specialises in guitars, drums, and sound equipment, and can even repair and maintain your equipment. Call them today on 46-327-377, drop into their showroom at 17 Bowen Street, or find them on Facebook. Royce Music, selling Toowoomba's finest musical instruments.
Hi, I'm Neil from CGD Group, and we do printing with imagination. Our products and imaging have that wow factor. Whether it be business cards, flyers, the Coffee Gazette, or our brand new A5 video folders and animation. Have your business branding remembered. Call us today on 4639 5553. CGD Group, printing with imagination.
On Power TV Australia, we take a frank look at computers, the internet and social media with a team of experts from around the world with Switched On IT. Learn what makes the internet tick and how to keep your kids safe online. Discover a whole new world of entertainment at www.powertvaustralia.com or download the app from the Google Play Store.
And welcome back to the TRL Footy Show from the Criterion Hotel Dalby, live and free on Power TV Australia. Now it's back to Obi and the panel for the points table and a preview of round 11.
Okay, well, let's have a look at these points tables. But before we do, it's welcome to the Dalby captain, Steve Franciscus, Papua New Guinean international. How are you, Stevie?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Obi.
Oh, that's good. Let's look at these points tables. And it's very important because it's the last round before Matson Rasmussen. And in A grade, Waddles have actually secured their berth in the Matson Rasmussen. And then Valleys, who play Gatton on the weekend, they're on 16, and Highfields are on 14. Let's forget the rest for the moment, given this week. But certainly Highfields, if they beat Dalby and Gatton beat Valleys, then Highfields, who will be on the same points at Valleys, have a better for and against, so it'll be a Waddles Highfields mid-season grand final. As for reserve grade, we've got Highfields on top, 115, and then, look, anyone can win this second spot in the Matson Rasmussen. Gatton defending Matson Rasmussen trophy holders in reserve grade. Waddles Well, yeah, Pittsworth or Valleys, they're all in that. I'm not going to even have a guess at that. Let's look at under 18s. And Gatton, you think that they would be assured of a Matson Rasmussen spot, but 2 and 3 play each other. So you would think that game on Saturday night will determine the other berth in that Ratson Mass. Well, how do you pronounce it?
Matson Rasmussen.
Matson Rasmussen. Thanks very much, Kerry. And so they'll be very good. And as for second division, looks like that's going to be either a Gatton Stanthorpe final there, but we'll see how Dalby go on the weekend, because they won't play anyone because they're playing Highfields and they don't have a second division. And by the way, South have pulled out of the second division, which is not unexpected. So let's get stuck into the round 11 preview. On Saturday night, it's Dalby versus Highfields. Fantastic match we're looking at. And Stevie, over to you, mate. How are you going to go, mate, after the last couple of weeks? You were a very forlorn figure after your loss against Valleys last week.
Oh no, we should be all right. I think we were just all frustrated. You know, we've been training pretty good lately. You know, we just got to polish off the rough edges at the moment. And you know, if we all stick to what we've been practicing, hopefully we can come up with a better performance than we did last Sunday.
And Stevie, do you think it's out of the top 3? Is it attitude or not sticking to the plan? You played very well when you came out in the second half, and it was the Dalby of old. Right through the match in patches there. You just got to keep it for 80 minutes, haven't you, Steve?
I really do think it's attitude, Obi, because from last year to this year, there's been really no difference. Do you know what I mean? So we've got to figure out how to learn and you know what we can get stronger with. But it's definitely attitude, because the ability's there. It's just some players are lacking confidence, and you know we've got to try and, as senior players, we've got to try and you know pat them on the back and say, keep going.
I believe Ambier and Wardrop are back. Don't know about Alex.
No, Alex is back, which is
it's a huge boost for you.
Oh, he lays
and he'll need to be there because he's, I reckon, the number 1 winger in the competition. Don't you reckon?
Oh, he's hard to tackle. I've seen him, for a little fella that's 4 foot tall, run straight over the top of much bigger guys. He's tough, he's strong, he's talented.
Yeah, he's very underrated. Yep. But he lays a platform for us bringing the ball back. And, you know, when the big fellas see someone like Alex bringing the ball back, you know, it just makes us want to go.
Yep.
Yeah, and Kerry, like Xavier Manley, he played pretty well, as did Anthony Hopper. But what I couldn't get over is that Cody Milne played well on the weekend, but they still had 50 put on them, you know, and but still you've got the cattle there. It's just gelling it all together, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And like Steve said, it's a bit of confidence, you know, and if you know, you've got 2 or 3 blokes on the side that aren't on, you know, they'll let the side down, and I think that's been the case. You know, we've got a few blokes that aren't quite there at the moment, and I think Alex Ambier is a big loss. You know, he brings the energy to the side. Like he gets those first
favourite.
Yeah, it is, mate. And that first tackle, he gets us on the front foot, and away we go. And he's been a big loss, and I think you know this week he'll be back against Highfields, and I think he'll be a big game for Dalby, and you know, being a you know, like if Dalby loses out of the top 3, could even go back to 6. It's a big game for Dalby, and I think this weekend, and I think you find that back to the best or close to it.
So tipping Dalby?
No, I've tipped Highfields, Avi. But listen, listen.
I'm listening, mate.
I've tipped them the last few weeks.
When wasn't I listening to you, Kerry?
Well, the last few weeks I've tipped Dalby and they let me down.
Yep.
And mate, I want to win this tipping comp, so I'm playing it safe.
And where are you coming?
And I'm going. Who's that? Me? Where am I coming?
You're first, aren't you?
Am I? Well,
I think so.
Probably.
Yep. And the tipping comp, incidentally, is A grade and under 18s. And Kerry rings me up every day. And I go home. No, he doesn't. But look, I've got to say, from a common sense point of view, I'm going for Highfields. They've been in good form the last month, whereas Dalby have been patchy. Okay, so obviously, and rightly so, Highfields are favourites for this game, Nev.
Mate, I'm taking Highfields as well, only simply for the reason after last year's game out here, which was the game of the year, they were hurting really bad and they think they should have won that, and they haven't forgotten about that, so they're turning up here ready to play, so the Dalby boys better be ready.
And Steve, you can win this game?
Oh, 100%. I'll back our boys till the cows come home.
Who's going to be the key players on Saturday night, mate? apart from yourself, Stevie, because you have been in really good form the last couple of weeks.
Oh, not really, Obi.
Yes, you have, mate. You got out.
I'll tell you something about Stevie. Steve wears his heart in his sleeve, and
Do you? Just look.
20 minutes after every game, we get a phone call from him, and he's a competitor, and I think if everyone takes a leaf out of his book, and which they did last year, I suppose, and they can continue that, he's a true competitor, and that's what rugby league's about. No one likes losing. Particularly Steve.
That's right. Okay, at Trevor Mickleborough Oval also on Saturday night, Oakey versus South. You'd think that Oakey would be favourites for this, and kickoff is at 6:30. On to the next game on Sunday. It's Brothers versus Gundawindi, and with Brothers versus Gundawindi, both these sides have been competing for 60 minutes, haven't they, Kerry? It's the last 20 minutes that is the real deal for them.
Yeah, and I think both sides are in a rebuilding phase, and they've got Scotty Shields, Chris McEwen at the helm, so they're in good hands. So, look, why it's probably not top 5 match. The next couple of years, these two sides will be powerhouses for sure.
Yeah, I'm going Gundawindi in a close one. Nev?
Oh, Brothers. I'm taking Brothers.
Okay, Steve?
I'll go with Brothers. You got to give credit.
You won't upset your Gundawindi mates?
No, you got to give credit to.
Because you hate upsetting everyone. Mate.
You got to give credit to Shields here and Stumpy. They've really worked hard on the off season, but I'll go for Brothers in this one.
And then the match of the round, Gatton versus Valleys. What a cracker this is going to be. Where do you see this one, Kerry?
Mate, I think Valleys have got a few injuries out of last week's game, and so I'm going to down there on a Sunday, Gatton. I'm going to take Gatton.
Nev?
Yeah, no, I'm going to take Valleys. I think they're the benchmark. I think they've got too many game breakers.
Yeah, I'm going for Valleys, only on their form. Gatton are in pretty good form. They've got good players coming back. They have got a twice as big forward pack with Samson Mariner back into the pack, and you throw in Burgoyne, throw in Morris, and throw in Hahn. They're going to have their hands full, Valleys. But look, Valleys with Chown back, and they were very good last week. They are in form, so if in doubt, go for inform, but it's going to be a huge day down there. They open up their can bar and their grandstand at the Carl Park complex. Now also the Phillies are going to be on at 12:30. Kelvin Hawke and myself are going to call that game against Ipswich, and then we're on the later time live on Power FM at 2:30 before the kickoff for Gatton Valleys at 3:30. Stephen?
I think Gatton's playing for their season, so it's down in Gatton, is it, Obi?
Yes, it sure is, mate. Yep.
Yeah, I'll tip Gatton in that one.
Yeah, and look, Gatton are 2 points out of the 5. Dalby playing Highfield, so anything could happen this week going into the Mats and Rasmussen. Must win for Valleys, must win for Highfields to make that Mats and Rasmussen. And then the last game of the round, Pittsworth versus Warwick, and Warwick were very good these last couple of weeks. Pittsworth coming off a bye. The grand finalists, never underestimate them, mate.
No, you definitely don't. I think Warwick, mate. I think everyone. The talk at the start of the season was about Warwick, and they started slow, but I think they're starting into straps now. So I'm going to take Warwick.
Yeah, Warwick just for me, Nev.
Mate, I'm going to take Warwick.
Are you cold?
Yeah, I'm freezing.
Are you cold, Stevie?
No, I'm good, thanks. Good.
Yeah, I think Pittsworth potentially could be the sleeping giants of the competition like Waddles were last year. I watched Carpenter at Oakey. They put Geordie O'Shea to 5'8", and he certainly found a home there. And they get that Shayla back, they go to another level. And just see what can happen with these guys in the second round.
But it's got to happen for Pittsworth.
Yep.
They only play one side lower than them on the ladder for the rest of the season. Stevie, who do you pick?
I'll be tipping Warwick. I think Benny Sullivan, Dan Murphy, Mickey Bloomfield and Big Joe out in the centres. Okay. I think there'll be too much to handle for them.
Okay, so all Warwick, but beware the wounded Danes. Stevie, thanks for coming along. We'll see you in the quiz in a moment. Yep. And let's go to a break, Robbo.
And coming up after the break, as Obi said, the Obi quiz. This is the TRL Footy Show, brought to you by the Criterion Hotel Dalby, Gail Walker Swim School and powerfm.com.au.
Break out the popcorn, sweets and drinks. It's Sunday night at the movies. Latest release movies brought to you exclusively by US filmmakers, including Lima Films. Sunday night at the movies, so join us every Sunday night at 7 p.m. right here on Power TV Australia.
Hi, this is Mick Jagger on
Classic Vinyl.
This is Debbie Arrow from Blondie.
This is Jimmy Barnes here.
Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac.
This is Reverend Willie G from ZZ Top.
The best tracks from the greatest albums of our generation.
That's right.
From your breakfast and coffee to your drive home.
We've got the classic hits that make your workday.
When you got a job to do,
Go by a lot faster.
Hey, if we haven't said it lately, thanks for listening. The home of classic rock.
Don't touch the dial.
PowerFMradio.com.au.
Playing indoor netball, cricket, soccer, dodgeball and volleyball is a great way to keep fit and catch up with friends, and the place to go and play any or all of these sports is Action Indoor Sports. There are competitions for juniors and adults of all levels of ability, from beginners to the most experienced. Action Indoor Sports is home to Inflatable World, an inflatable theme park for all ages, and new and coming soon, indoor softball. Go and see for yourself. Action Indoor Sports is located at 31 Spencer Street, Toowoomba. Check out the website toowoombaindoorsports.com or phone 4635 9999.
Well, welcome along to My Music. I'm Jeff Black. Let me tell you about the T-Bird Diner. Well, just over here, we've got a Ford custom line that's crashed through the wall. Next episode on My Music on Power TV Australia. I'll see you then.
And thanks for joining us on the TRL Footy Show live from the Criterion Hotel, Dalby. Let's have some fun now with Obi's quiz.
Ready to go? We're right to go? Yes, we are. It's Obi's quiz, so thanks very much. And joining us is the big man himself, Xavier Manley. Put your hands together for Xavier.
Cheers, mate.
And we've certainly got Stevie Franciscus. Put your hands together for Stevie. And plenty of booze for Kerry Carmichael.
I thought you were talking about booze.
All right, so what we're going to do is have 3 individual questions, 5 points for a correct answer, okay? Nothing for a wrong answer, okay? And then we'll get into a buzzer thing, okay? Is that right? Yep. Now, Kerry, you're the first question, okay?
Yep.
You played for North Devils in the Queensland Cup competition in the late 1990s. Brisbane North have allocated player numbers for all A-graders to pull on the famous jersey. What was your number?
No idea. I was the best player, but probably not number 1. But that's. Is it,
Do you want a hint?
I do, yeah.
It was between 780 and 820. And I'll give you
794.
Very good. Put your hands together for Kerry.
That's a G up.
5 points. You got that, Robbo?
He's in the lead at the moment.
He's in the lead. That's right. Stevie Franciscus, who is the current captain for the Papua New Guinean national side?
David Mead.
Incorrect. It's Asia Bezo.
What?
Asia Bezo. Give yourself an uppercut, Stephen.
We're going to go to Google now, do we?
All right, Xavier Manley. Carmichael has been into you about how many times you go down injured in the game. How many times did you go down hurt on the weekend against Valleys?
Naught.
That's right!
Only play 5 minutes.
Now, Kerry, how many times did you go injured against Oakey that day?
Beaver.
Yeah.
360.
That's right.
That was for the year.
And the game went on about another 30 minutes, you idiot. So that was good. So, okay, so now we've got fastest finger, okay? Now, you've got to make a sound. Now, diehards, right, make a sound like a Viking sort of thing, okay, Xavier? So you've got to make a sound like a diehard, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Or else you can't be in it, mate. So I've got plenty of prizes here.
Mucking around,
No, come on. No, come on. No, a bit better. Yeah. Okay. Stevie Francisca's Papua New Guinean International 2007. Okay. Stevie Francis, how's a camel go?
A camel?
No, kumel.
Oh, camel. I'll just go tweet. That's a bird.
Okay, no, let's go. Tweet!
Tweet.
A bit louder, Stevie.
Tweet.
Tweet. Okay, now, Kerry Carmichael.
I'm Xavier. Am I Xavier Manley?
No, you are Kerry Carmichael, okay? Now, when you were playing, mate, you were like a mongrel dog, okay? Now, you've got to be like a mongrel dog, okay? Ready? Go.
Roof.
No, you idiot. Come on, a lot louder, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Roof.
Okay.
I forgot mine, Ovie.
Yours is yaw! Let's go again.
Just make sure.
Stephen?
Tweet.
Kerry?
Roof.
Now, let's go the other way, okay? Kerry?
Tweet? No.
No, wolf, you idiot.
Roof.
Stephen?
Tweet.
Xavier?
Yeah.
No, with the sand.
Yeah.
And with the hand?
Tweet.
Okay.
Roof.
No, with the hand, mate.
A roof.
Okay. No, a bit better than that. Come on.
Roof.
Wolf. That's better. Okay. All right. Now, Kerry, you're on 5.
Yep.
Xavier, you're on 5. Steve, you're yet to open up your account.
And I'll be
okay?
checking that later.
Now, you've got to be quick. Okay. One of Dalby's favourite sons, Andrew McCulloch, made his Origin debut last night. Put your hands together for Andrew. Spell McCulloch.
Roof.
Yeah.
Kerry.
MCCULLOUGH.
That's right. Well done. Multiple choice. Andrew McCulloch played for Queensland in another sport in his juniors.
Yeah.
No, wait to finish the question.
Multiple choice. But you can answer it, right? What's that?
Cricket?
That's right. Well done. Was it A, rugby union, B, athletics, and for another 5 points, what age group was it?
Rolf.
Yes?
12.
That's right. 5 points for Kerry. Question number 3. Who's the mayor of Dalby?
Yeah.
Rolf. Yeah, we'll go with you, Steve.
Kerry Carmichael.
Yes.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Next one.
What's his
Rolf.
name?
Yeah,
Rolf.
Paul McVeigh.
That's right. No, you've got to go. Yeah, Xavier, okay. Who was Queensland's captain for the first ever State of Origin?
Rolf.
Yes, Stephen.
Arthur Beetson.
Very right. That's right. Now let's go. We've got one more for 5. Dalby is the home of a number of famous people. Dalby's famous actress is Margot Robbie. Name one of her movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wolf of Wall Street.
The correct name, the actual correct name?
Hard to say, really.
No, it's easy. You just say it.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, you'll get 5 points in for another 5 points. What was the best scene?
There's a couple that,
Roof.
Yes.
In the shower.
No, she never had a shower, you idiot.
I haven't seen the movie.
she's got the camera in a delicate position.
That's good, but you didn't say yeah, so you didn't get any points whatsoever. Okay, now let's get a update from you, Robbo. What is it, mate?
At the moment, Steve has 5, Kerry has 20, and Xavier 15.
Oh, very, very close. Okay, how many goals did Zach Morris kick on the weekend?
Yeah.
Yes?
Would have been...
No, we're not going to do that because you've got to go like that, Xavier. Yes?
2.
No, Ruff.
Wrong.
Ruff,
Yes.
4.
That's right,
Yes.
Kerry.
Oh, yeah, what was the
Good to
score?
see you paid attention, Stephen.
Too busy tackling, Obi.
It was 4. Well done.
No, he thought he said tackle he made.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good, Xavier. Xavier, would you like me to speak slower?
Hey, that wasn't me.
That's okay. Now, Xavier, come on, give us an come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. How bad is that? Go again, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Who was the last Dalby player to win the Webke Prize Medal?
Yeah. Danny
Yes.
Wassell.
That's right. 5 points for him. Who am I?
Yeah.
Yep.
Obi.
That's right, but that's not the question, okay? I played for Dalby in 1990s. Prior to last night, I was the last Dalby player before Andrew McCulloch.
Yeah.
Yes?
Carl Webb.
That's right. It was Carl Webb. He was the last Dalby player to play State of Origin. He played 15 times for Queensland, played 1 test for Australia, and he had 1 professional fight for another 5 points. Did he win the point? Did he win the fight?
Tweet. No.
Okay, and for another fight, what was the decision? Another 5 points.
Ruff. TKO.
For him or?
No, against him.
Yeah, that's right. So 5 points for Kerry, 5 points for Stephen, and well done from that. Now, Dalby have played in a few grand finals prior to winning last year's inaugural title. They also played in TRL Grand Final in their first year in 1996. Is that correct?
Yep.
And they lost by 2 points to South. In 2015 Grand Final, they were beaten by...
Yeah.
Tweets.
Yep.
Waddles.
They were. And for another 5 points,
Unlucky too.
who was the halfback?
Yeah.
Answer the question, Beaver.
Dylan Taylor.
Wrong. Let me finish the question, you idiot.
Yeah, now, Beaver.
Who was the halfback who played most of the year but missed the grand
Tweet.
final?
Ash
Yes.
Alamani.
That's correct. Put your hands together, Stephen. Wasn't that a good one?
Thank you. Yes.
1 question to go. What's the score?
At the moment, Steve is on 20,
Yep.
Kerry's on 30, and Xavier's on 25.
Okay, so 1 question to go. Wow. Okay, so here's the question. The last one can win the big prize here. 3, 2, 1 are given by the Obi and Cookie Call each week. Who received the 2 points for Dalby on the weekend?
Anthony Huepa.
That's right. I think we've got a tie.
We have
We have. So it's 30?
No, hang on.
30, 30 apiece.
That's right, okay.
Tiebreaker, Obes.
We've got a tiebreaker.
Unless you want to make this one worth 15 points and then everybody's in it.
Okay, so
Yes.
15 points.
I like
We'll do
it,
that.
I like it.
Everyone's in it, okay?
Oh.
Now, the prize is a Toowoomba Toyota pack, but the winner gets an Obi and Cookie cap.
Yes.
Okay, ready? Okay, ready? What was the score in last year's grand final?
Ruff.
Stevie?
48. No, you're lying to me, bro.
That is.
48-6.
Ruff.
Yeah. 48-4.
Ruff, no, you can't, mate.
Hang on, I don't even know what it is.
It was 48-4 what I said.
Okay, what was the score? 48-6. You said
I said 48-6.
he did?
Thank you.
No, it was 48-4.
48-6. The winner is Stephen Franciscus.
Hang on. Oh, me hat.
There we are. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Oh, hang on. That's a thing.
yeah.
Right, hang on. Come on here. Here we go. Obi and Cookie Call hat.
Thank you, Obes.
We don't give out those lightly. Well done, Stephen.
Thank you.
Okay, you get the Toowoomba Toyota.
Thank you.
Okay, as you do, Xavier.
Thank you.
Okay, and you do Kerry.
Thanks, mate.
Okay. Now we're back with Obi's rant. Thank very much, Kerry Carmichael, Stephen Franciscus, and Xavier Manley.
This is the TRL Footy Show, brought to you by the Criterion Hotel, Dalby, Gail Walker Swim School and Power FM. Live and free on Power TV Australia.
Is your computer driving you crazy? Is it slow or doing things you didn't expect? Well, having a computer crash or pick up a virus can be a complete nightmare for a business, so having someone local you can trust to get you up and running again is critical. The dedicated team of experts at Computer Troubleshooters Toowoomba West will put your mind at ease from the moment you walk through the door and will get your problem solved in no time with a 100% guarantee on their work. Laptops, tablets, PCs, whatever you have, Roger and the team can fix it for you. So visit them today at 236 Bridge Street, Newtown. Well, can't get in to see them? No worries. Just call them on 4642 1331 and they'll come to you. Toowoomba Troubleshooters, Toowoomba West, on the web at www.computertroubleshooters.com.au/Toowoomba West.
On Power TV Australia, we take a frank look at computers, the internet and social media with a team of experts from around the world with Switched On IT. Learn what makes the internet tick and how to keep your kids safe online. Discover a whole new world of entertainment at www.powertvaustralia.com or download the app from the Google Play Store.
Hi, this is Mick Jagger on
Classic Vinyl.
This is Debbie Harrow from Blondie.
This is Jimmy Barnes here.
Eating Expert Fleetwood Mac.
This is Reppin' with a G from ZZ Top.
The best tracks from the greatest albums of our generation.
That's right.
From your breakfast and coffee to your drive home.
We've got the classic hits that make your workday.
When you got a job to do,
go by a lot faster.
Hey, if we haven't said it lately, thanks for listening. The home of classic rock.
Don't touch the dial.
PowerFMradio.com.au.
The Criterion Hotel, conveniently located on the corner of Warrego Highway and Mile Streets, Dalby, prides itself on having the best customer service and a great atmosphere. They offer a full range of dining, regular promotions and entertainment with every NRL match shown live on the big screen in the beer garden and throughout the venue. The Cry is renowned for its steakhouse and for cooking some seriously good steaks. You can dine in a relaxed environment in the bistro in front of a blazing wood fire, or there's the beer garden and the back deck. Get comfortable and enjoy your time at the Cry. Call them today on 07 4662 3303. Email lisa@criterionhoteldalby.com.au or visit their website at criterionhoteldalby.com.au.
And thanks for joining us at the TRL Footy Show live from the Criterion Hotel in Dalby. And now it's time for Obi's Rant.
Yeah, well, welcome back to the Criterion Hotel. And look, my rant this week is about coaching contracts and at the grassroots. We've heard a lot with Craig Bellamy and Wayne Bennett, but let's talk about the Toowoomba Rugby League. There's no secret with the Rugby League contracts here for coaches. One thing I like about Dalby, and there's no, how should I put it, why they're making success, is that they've had a coaching group of Craig Firma, Derek Brady and Kerry Carmichael. Now that's been in place for the last 2 to 3 years, and hence they've got a premiership, and all of the teams are competing for their respective divisions. And it's by no secret that they won the club championships last year. Now, long-term coaches seem to go very well. Now, let's have a look at it. Gus McKellar's been a number of years at Highfields. Ian Braxton's been at Pittsworth, all very successful clubs. Brett Seymour at Valleys. But we do have coaches that are in their first year, and I notice a number of clubs have had a different coach for the last 5 or 10 years. Well, let me tell you, you can take a feather out of Dalby's cap here. What they have in place is probably the best concept, I believe, because you can't win every premiership, that's for sure. Right, so, but you can be competitive, and the lower grades sort of gather there as well, don't they, Neville?
Mate, most certainly, Obi, and as you touched on there before, You need to have a united front with your coaching team, and as we've looked at sides throughout our competition, the side that keeps their coach for a number of years goes the best. But I'll tell you something else, you have to have the 3 united coaches, because if you get a reserve grade coach that's working against the A grade coach, which happens at some clubs, it undermines everything that goes on with every other people are trying to put together.
It does, and by no secret, I'll see that Brothers and South, I know they're working as we speak, if not earlier, about looking after a coach for the long term for those 2 clubs over the next couple of years. So that's my rant this week, and I do like coaches in at least 2, 3 or 4 years. So congratulations to Dalby. It's been fantastic here. Put your hands together for Ben O'Callaghan and his team. We really appreciate being here. We'll be back here before finals in August with the Dalby Leagues Club. Thanks for coming, Nev.
Mate, it's been
Didn't
a
we have a
pleasure.
hoot, mate?
Mate, it's a brilliant place to come. If you're looking for a great steak, come out to the Criterion Hotel out here at Dalby.
Yeah, thanks to Barry and Yuki and to Robbo. We'll see you on the weekend on Power FM, live for the Obie and Cookie Call.
This has been the TRL Footy Show. Thanks to our major sponsors, the Criterion Hotel Dalby, Gail Walker Swim School at Highfields on the New England Highway, Power FM Toowoomba, Royce Music, and the Computer Troubleshooters. If you're in business and interested in advertising on Power TV or Power FM, you can contact us by phone or email. The details are on the screen. This has been a Power TV Australia production in conjunction with Power FM. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and remember to download the Power TV Australia app from the Google Play Store. Thanks for your company for another edition of the TRL Footy Show. I'm Robbo. See you next week at Gail Walker Swim School in Highfields.
Thank you.